Hi guys, so welcome to our podcast Pran Vayu, and we have Jasmeet Kaur with us. So Jasmeet, I recently saw your post on how you manifested certain desires of yours or probably your goals through AstroCartography, right? It's am I pronouncing it right?
Yes, absolutely
So
right.
what is it? Please tell me, because this is something new. मैंने यहाँ पे बहुत लोगों को देखा है, astrology कर रहे हैं, ये सब कर रहे हैं, but how is astrology related to cartography?
So basically, astrocartography has come from astrology itself. Now, when we lay your kundli, your birth chart over the world map, we find out certain specific areas, energy vortex in the map, where when you travel there, when you go there, when you're around that place, that energy will activate in your kundli and bring certain results. You can figure out the place you're born, any energy center near that, any planetary line near that will tell you your life purpose.
Like how?
Or for example, I am born near a Pluto line. Pluto is the energy, we do not consider it in Indian system, but Pluto is the energy of transformation. It is the energy of ups and downs, of upheavals, of restorations. It's kind of the energy of Ma Kali, if I connect it to, because she is, whatever's not working, she removes that. Pluto is similar, upheavals, transformations, getting beyond your normal perception, seeing from a higher perspective. And my life has been mostly around that. So you can figure out where you can shine in your career, you can figure out where you'll find your love. Sometimes we also go on vacations, but we feel very drained, right? We're probably traveling to a hard line like Mars or Saturn or even Pluto for that matter. So planning your trips, planning your relocation if you want to move across countries, that would be very helpful coming from astrocartography.
Okay, so even if I talk about, like, let's say travelers, do you think that they can also plan
100%.
through the map, and how is it going to
100%.
help them? Because I see, like, हम लोग जो है हमारा एक spiritual purpose है और ये सब, but there are so many people जिनका कुछ ऐसा नहीं है, उनको बस घूमना है, they just want to travel. So how is it going to help them?
Yeah. So coming to traveling, especially if you're into social media and you post travel blogs, travel reels and all of that, traveling to your Mercury line will get you a lot of views, will get you famous on social media. Traveling to your Sun line will also make you shine in your career. It will give you that exposure that you haven't been getting after working so hard.
Yeah.
Rather than traveling to Saturn line where you're going to face a lot of delays in everything, your flight might be delayed there, people might con you there. So even Neptune lines are very illusionary. People might think something, people might say something else. So traveling to Neptune, Saturn, Mars is not recommended. So when you, and it is very different for all of us. सबके लिए सबकी कुंडलियाँ बहुत यूनिक हैं, तो उनके वर्ल्ड मैप भी बहुत यूनिक होंगे. तो जब हम वो यूनिक मैप्स देखते हैं, उसको एनालाइज करते हैं, उससे पता चलता है कि अगर आप यहाँ जाओगे तो कैसी एनर्जी आएगी, अगर आप यहाँ जाओगे तो कैसी एनर्जी आएगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, Saturn line is good for, let's say, 20% of the people only. If it is placed strongly.
20% people?
Depending on the birth chart, you have to we have to analyze the कुंडली properly. तो पहले आप कुंडली एनालाइज करोगे, आपको पता चलेगा कि अच्छा ये planet अच्छा है, ये planet strongly placed है, benefic है, अब वहाँ जाओगे. So again, as it is so unique, everybody's lines are not going to match the other. If sun line is good for me, it might not be the best for you. Depending on where the sun is placed, what will it bring you? So yeah.
So does that mean कि let's say कि एक sun की line है and that is good for me, does that mean that I can't go to other places?
Of course you can go to other places. For example, if sun is not good for you, let's say, ठीक है? What if Jupiter is amazing for you? What if Venus is amazing for you?
And what if I want to go to this sun line only?
Then we will not go directly under the sun line. So literally think of a line passing through the map. ठीक है? It goes, let's say, to the middle of Paris. Then if it is not amazingly placed, you will not go to Paris, but you will go to nearby cities. So the more closer you are to a line, the more intensely you can feel the effects. So it is mostly recommended not to move directly under the Pluto line, directly under the Mars line or Saturn line. Saturn gives long-term commitment, but it also brings a lot of hard work, tedious work, service to others before giving results. So if you have to learn major life lessons, you will go there. Of course.
I know.
See, this knowledge is so new that nobody in India is doing this as of now.
Exactly, yeah.
Where you have to go, you will be there no matter where you plan. Because I honestly believe in destiny. कि जो होता है वो होता है. आपको जहाँ होना है वहाँ होना है. आप उसको कितना भी plan कर लो astrology से, AstroCartography से. You can't skip your karma. You can't skip your destiny. You can't outrun it. So even if let's say I was traveling to Dubai earlier this year, even if it was amazing for me, I felt delays. And that time I was not in AstroCartography. Now when I came into it, I studied it, analyzed my own chart first. I got to know that Saturn is passing very close by to Dubai.
Okay.
Now that made a lot of sense. Now next time when I have to go to the same place or similar places, I will plan accordingly. I will try to be more understanding of my nature, of the nature of the geography. So it's basically आप जियोग्राफी को समझ रहे हो, उसकी एनर्जी से अलाइन हो रहे हो और उन चीज़ों को एक्टिवेट कर रहे हो अपने बर्थ चार्ट में.
Perfect. And how did you like learn all this? Because this is something very new. मैंने तो कभी नहीं सुना था. I got to hear this from you only when I was watching your stories and everything. So कहाँ से ये आया and how did you learn this and how passionate are you about it? Because
I am extremely passionate about it. So I'm a big time researcher. Anything, like I have this thing of feeding my curiosities. मेरे को जो दिमाग में आ गया ना एक बार, I'm like, I have to pursue this. And I've done everything through that method of researching, because why I feel this might not resonate to a lot of people. I feel if you learn from a teacher, you kind of absorb their perspective. I have something that I have to make my own perspective about something first before learning it from somebody else. Right? So I researched it for months and months, and I studied my own chart, I studied my friend's chart, and I asked them questions, and I asked for their honest feedback. कि आप यहाँ गए थे, आपको ऐसा लगा क्या? Right? So after that, after a lot of analyzing, and this is so interesting that it is so unique for everybody that, for example, this is great, by the way. If you're a group of friends or if you're going or planning on your honeymoon, right? Your energy might be amazing somewhere, but your partner's energy might be very dull.
Exactly,
So planning a trip together, let's say with your family, there are IC lines, the Imam Kolai, which is the 4th house. When you travel there with your family, you have a flow of everything. There are no fights, no arguments, no conflicts. And especially to the moon or the Jupiter side of it. So if you travel with your family and you have a lot of conflicts, maybe you're not traveling to the best line. So even for that, it's amazing. Also, if you are into real estate, into property, investing in certain places will give you tenfold results than investing in other places. So it's very logical as well, because when you buy property at a certain place, it's going to bring so much more results than you expected, because it's lucky for you personally. So that also goes in a lot of careers, in planning a lot of trips with your friends, your family, your partners, to align the energy and get the most out of the trip. Not get drained, not get exhausted by the end of it, you know.
Absolutely. Also about, so let's say Vastu. ठीक है. So अब हम जैसे घर लेते हैं, so अब घर जब लेते हैं, so we have a lot of things about वास्तु, ये ऐसा होना चाहिए. So is it also related, is AstroCartography is also related to vastu, or you know, buying a house or something?
Could be, yes. So we also analyze local space. Okay, the point where you're living right now, be it your birthplace, be it your current rented home, anywhere, right? We take that specific, very accurate location, and then we see lines passing, becoming that at the center point, and lines are passing all the way. Now, if let's say your sun line is at the east corner of your home, when you work there, where you create content there, अगर आप वहाँ काम करो या कुछ भी administrative work करो, कुछ भी government का काम करो, काम बहुत जल्दी होगा. Whereas if the Saturn line is passing, let's say at the west of your home, this is also very unique for everyone. अगर Saturn line west से जा रही है, अगर वहाँ आपका work space है, वहाँ आप काम कर रहे हो, आपको हर बार अड़चने आएंगी, delay होगा, कुछ ना कुछ problem होगी. So also using it in your own home.
Check mine after the podcast.
Definitely. I'd love to.
Done.
I'd love to. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so, how can you actually manifest through AstroCartography?
So I feel it depends from person to person
Yeah.
in what kind of career you are in. Let's say we are talking about spirituality here. Spirituality is denoted through moon if you're into the Devi sector, the divine feminine. It is represented through the sun if you're into the masculine sector. It depends on what kind of where you are. Okay. So now if you want to manifest, let's say, success in the fashion field, you will move or do work in your Venus line. You can attend networking events under your Venus line.
Okay.
You can go for a spa day under your Venus line. If you're, let's say, into communication, you're into sales, you have to manage people, you will have to work under Mercury line.
Okay.
Mercury is all about communication. It is all about researching. It is all about saying what you have to deliver, right? It is all about the mind, the logic. So whenever you're under your Mercury line, if your let's say your northeast is Mercury, right? You will go under your Mercury line to work, to have meetings, and you can see you will have a fluent communication. People will understand and comprehend you better, and also you will see your conversations flowing and things just starting to work out for you. So it depends on what kind of career you are. Let's say if you're into sports, you're an athlete, just like Olympics are going on right now, right? Having a workout space in the Mars line, because Mars is aggression, Mars is physical vitality, it is fire, it is your physical body, it is your brain. So it is motivation and discipline. It's so much of the physical movement, it's so much of having a very focused, pinpointed, goal.
Yeah.
So if you have a gym, or let's say a swimming pool, or whatever workout you're doing throughout the day, if you're doing it under your Mars line, you're going to see results much quicker. You're going to be more focused, you're not going to get tired easily, and you're going to stick to it for longer. So the energy and utilizing the energy is astrocartography altogether.
And where is your Noida line? Like on what point? Is it related to fashion or spirituality or what?
It is somewhere, I think, in the middle of my moon and my Mercury line.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. So Noida is actually my mother's Maika.
Oh,
in 37 sector.
Okay.
So my mother's Maika is in. I just came here and I was checking my astrocartography map, and my mom's Maika is here. And mostly whenever I visit to Noida, it's either for that purpose or I'm into some kind of work event.
Oh my
Always.
God. So is it going to give you some success or something like what kind of success?
Yes, definitely. If this reaches to the right audience, it's definitely going to give us huge success. Definitely.
Lovely. And also, so I see you manifesting a lot.
Yeah.
Acha, manifestation se pehle, I want to ask another question. So is there any website related to this
astrocartography?
Yeah.
So I do it online on AstroDienist, AstroDienst.com or astro.com. ये दो websites हैं. इसमें आप जाओ, अपनी birth details fill करो. उसमें दो options आएंगे. One is locational astrology and the other one will be local space. Local space will give you your exact location and you will be the center point of it, and there will be lines going away from it.
Okay.
And the locational astrology, you will see the entire map of the world.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can figure it out.
So is there any place from where we can learn or
Google and YouTube are great
so
ways to
oh,
start.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can get some basics, but then you have to research. So I read a lot of papers around this. There are a lot of research papers around astrocartography, astrologers posting their research work online, and they analyzing them firsthand with their clients of, okay, if their clients travel to this particular area, तो उनके साथ ये हुआ.
Okay.
तो वो एनालाइज करके, इवन जैसे एस्ट्रोलॉजी हमारे पास कैसे आई है, उन्होंने एनालाइज किया, जो चीज सही लगी उसको रखा, जो चीज नहीं सही लगी उसको हटाया, राइट? सो एस्ट्रोकार्टोग्राफी आल्सो वर्क्स इन द सेम वे.
So about this topic, astrocartography. So what do you think is the future, like potential future in this professional field? क्या future होने वाला है if you get into this?
So I think it has huge potential क्योंकि everybody wants a smooth life.
Yeah.
सबको चाहिए कि हमारी लाइफ स्मूथ रहे, कोई दिक्कत ना हो, and we do not get into unexpected, unwanted situations or with people, right?
Yeah.
तो इससे अगर आप figure out कर सकते हो कि कहाँ आपके अच्छे areas है, कहाँ आपके बुरे areas है, of course you have some power over your own map.
Yeah.
That you can avoid traveling to certain places.
Yeah.
And when somebody comes to me, let's say they want to shift abroad, and they have these few countries in, let's say they have Germany, they have Dubai, and they have UK in their mind, right? Now when they tell me, okay, these are the countries I'm planning to move, which will be beneficial for me. Now I can see the areas around it, what lines are passing, what are auspicious for them, what are inauspicious for them, and what field they are in.
Okay.
So if they are, let's say, into AI, into technology, I would recommend moving to the Uranus line. Uranus is all about higher knowledge, higher wisdom, the artificial intelligence, development, software. It's all about that. It's also about aviation. So if somebody is into UFOs, into conspiracy theories and all of this, moving to your Uranus line would be very beneficial. Now if something is into, let's say, the banking sector, I would tell them to move to the Sun line or the Mercury line. Because Sun is all about administration. It is the authority. It is managing stuff. Mercury, on the other hand, is everything about finance, about communication, about logic, about analyzing stuff. So Mercurian people, they have very detailed clarity in their mind about small things. They focus on the minute things. And if somebody is in the fashion industry, let's say, if somebody is an actor, a model, or a content creator, I would suggest them to move on their MC Venus line. MC so there are 4 angles in astrocartography. It's the first house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house. The first house is the ascendant. It is all about you.
Okay.
It is the inner reality.
Okay.
And the 4th house is all about your family, your home. If you want to have, let's say, a very pleasing home, okay, I would tell you to move to your Venus line or to your moon line, to nurture, to give, to have and develop that femininity, right? Now then there's also the 7th house, which is the DC, the descendant. It is all about partnerships, business relationships. So traveling, let's say you're having a honeymoon, and if you want to see which are the good places, combining and overlaying both of the person's chart, we can see what are the best places
that they can travel together.
Yes, and especially the DC sector, the DC angle.
Okay.
If they want to, let's say, have a business partnership abroad or even in India, then they can also see where the DC line is going through, because that's also business partnership, so that you don't get conned, which is
okay.
And then there's also MC, which is the 10th house, the career. Wherever you want to establish yourself is where you will move. So IC and MC are your outer realities, what happens in the outer world. Your home happen in the outer world, your career happens in the outer world, whereas AC and DC are your inner realities.
Okay.
There you can figure out what you want exactly, what kind of relationships you want, what kind of personal development you want to have in life.
So can we say that we have more control over AC and DC rather than the other two?
Definitely, but then again, I would suggest, if you are traveling alone, you have control over all 4. But if you're traveling somewhere or you're already settled, you can't move much, then okay, some kind of uncertainty of course is there, but then local space comes in place.
Okay.
So even if you do not want to move, बहुत लोग आते हैं मेरे पास कि हमें शिफ्ट नहीं होना
नहीं
कहीं
होना,
भी, बट
yeah.
हमें जो हम जहाँ हैं मुझे वो एनालाइज करना है, which is obviously very practical in today's world. Not everybody can just pick up their stuff and move somewhere else. So the best thing I recommend them, like if you want to work on something very specific, let's say you want to write a book. I will tell you to go to a cafe or go to a library or some quiet place under your Mercury line.
Oh, that is nice.
Yes. If they want to find, let's say, investors or publishers for the same, I would tell them to go somewhere to a networking event under the Jupiter line. They will get a lot of support from there, and they will also get a lot of exposure under their Jupiter line. Things will just start flowing for them.
So also one more question related to this. तो जैसे हम लोग energy updates create करते हैं, right? We have this collective message. तो exactly in the same manner, do we have these collective lines also?
No.
Okay.
Since the birth chart is individual for everyone, हमारा something that we can still figure out is you take the birth chart of now, the present moment. And then you give a chart, and then you predict, okay, this thing is going to happen in this region. Then we go into geography of that place. Let's say if you're analyzing India, if let's say as the Bangladesh riots are happening now, if we take the birth chart of right now of where the planets are in the universe right now, and if there's a Mars line or a Pluto line or a combination of two is passing through Bangladesh, we can see, okay, this is what's coming up. This is what's happening. If you want to predict the future, we take a timeline of the future and we create a kundli through a software map, and then we just see, okay, this is happening in this region. Let's avoid this region. So
basically हम लोग ये बड़े-बड़े events के लिए भी कर सकते हैं, which is, you know, let's say any war or any big meeting where we are representing India or about India itself. So we can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, holding a business meet, if you're a company, holding a business meet under the sun line of either the CEO, either the founder, or in the future timeline.
Let's say Modi ji ki line agar humne le li, right? So we can predict a lot of things where he can take the right decisions and stuff.
I also just posted about Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
Of how the places she went, she's traveled all over, right? So the places she went activated different things for her. For example, near her, where in her childhood she was bullied in Boston, in New York, there is her Chiron line passing through it. Chiron is the wounded healer. It means something will trigger you, and in this lifetime, it is your job to heal that. That is where she went for schooling during her teenage years. London, where she won Miss World in 2000, that is where her Venus line is passing. Exactly through either the Venus or the Sun, I can't remember exactly. Her Venus line is passing through that. Coming to LA, where she settled right now, I think her Jupiter line is going right through LA. That is why she's getting such global exposure. She's the ambassador of such big brands. Even Bombay, where she used to stay, that is in the middle of Pluto and I think Mars or Venus. It was good here for her, but it did create a lot of controversies. So you can also see a trajectory of somebody's life through AstroCartography.
And how can we, like, you know, let's say manipulate this whole destiny thing? Because let's say कि one part is destiny and one is our free will as well.
Right.
So free will हम कितना ज़्यादा control कर सकते हैं and destiny कितना ज़्यादा control कर सकती है in this particular scenario?
See, I think our destiny is created through our free will in terms of the choices we are making now. We're going to reap the benefit or the the wrong side of it through our choices. I 100% believe in free will, that we are very conscious. We are the only conscious species here on earth.
Yes, absolutely.
We have the power in our hands to choose something for us. And whenever people say कि मेरे पास choice नहीं है या मेरे पास options नहीं है, we always have a choice. When we are saying no, we have a choice. When we are saying yes, we have a choice. Even when we are saying of nothing, we are silent, we still have a choice. So I feel जो अभी हमारी destiny है, that is created by our free will in our past life. We are just reaping whatever's coming up.
Got it.
So I definitely believe in free will, that we have absolute control over our destiny. We do not have the control over the destiny we have created in the past life.
Of course.
But in the end, we have created it in the first place. This leads me to Saturn,
Yeah.
where everybody is scared of Saturn. Everybody is
I too love
scared.
Saturn.
Yeah, it's the most unbiased planet.
Exactly.
It gives you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
It doesn't think, oh ये अंबानी इसको कम देते हैं, या oh ये normal बंदा है इसको ज़्यादा देते हैं. It gives you exactly what you deserve, exactly what you have created. वो भी अपने मन से नहीं देता है, उसको वही देता है जो उसने खुद क्रिएट करा है.
किया है, exactly.
So साढ़े
the whole
साथी
karma philosophy
Yeah.
basically, ना?
Yeah.
हाँ, you were saying something about
So
साढ़े साथी.
साढ़े साथी में बहुत लोग डरते हैं कि हाय मेरी साढ़े साथी
हाँ,
आने वाली है,
हाँ.
क्या करूँगा मैं.
Yeah.
साढ़े साथी में जितना होता है ना आपका आगे का पीछे का, वो सब रिडीम होता है. आपने अच्छा किया है पहले तो आपको
अच्छा
many
मिलेगा.
people grow immensely during the साढ़े साथी.
Wow.
Immensely. Now many people also fall immensely. So it's a curse and a blessing depending on what you have sowed in the first place. कोई ये सैटर्न आपको कोई पनिश नहीं कर रहा है, वो आपको 7 साल के पीरियड में सिर्फ आपका जो कर्म है वो ज्यादा दे रहा है. वो कह रहा है कि इन 7 साल में मैं कोटा ज्यादा पूरा करूंगा तुम्हारा. तुमने अच्छा किया तो तुम्हें बहुत सक्सेस मिलेगी, बहुत अच्छी चीजें मिलेंगी. तुमने नहीं करा तो तुम्हें नहीं मिल सकता ना, किसी और का तो मैं तुम्हें उठा के नहीं दे सकता.
Yeah.
So most people are scared, but they have created it by themselves.
Right. Okay. So about manifestation, तो अब मेरा एक ही perception है कि what if मैं भगवान जी से कम मांग लूँ, because हम लोग जो सोचते हैं वही हम क्रिएट करते हैं, राइट? whatever we are thinking we are creating that. So what if I ask for something less and universe wants to give me something bigger? So what's your take on that?
I think भगवान के पास कुछ कमी नहीं है देने की, ठीक है. It all comes down to what we think we deserve.
Yeah.
हमें पता है हमारे में पोटेंशियल है 1 मिलियन कमाने का, लेकिन अगर हम अभी 10,000 कमा रहे, 20,000 कमा रहे, हम वो सोच भी नहीं सकते, राइट? भगवान को पता है कि इसकी वैल्यू 1 मिलियन है, लेकिन ये अभी सोच ही नहीं पा रहा, तो इसको मैं अगर दे भी दूंगा तो एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करेगा. तो वो बोलेगा यार ये मेरे पास कहाँ से आ गए, मैं दे देता हूँ किसी को, मैं कुछ कर लेता हूँ. They will be very overwhelmed. Right? So what, even coming to Saturn again, Saturn makes you mature to handle those situations. वो आपकी लाइफ में
It prepares you for that
prepares
success.
you, yes. तो सिमिलरली मैनिफेस्टेशन भी ऐसा है, जितना आपका बिलीफ सिस्टम एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है उतना ही आपको मिलेगा. अगर आपका बिलीफ सिस्टम एब्जॉर्ब नहीं कर सकता, ये कल को आपको प्राइवेट जेट चाहिए, आपको नहीं मिलेगा.
तो ये जो कंडीशनिंग है, इस कंडीशनिंग को एक्चुअली में तोड़ना कैसे चाहिए? बिकॉज एवरीवन वांट्स टू बिकम रिच, एवरीवन वांट्स टू हैव दिस सक्सेसफुल लाइफ एंड एवरीथिंग, बट सब लोग उसी कंडीशनिंग में ही अटके पड़े हैं. दैट इज, इट्स द गेम ऑफ दिस पैटर्न दैट वी आर
The matrix, if you call the universe, if you call it.
Exactly. So how do we break that?
First of all, I think nobody is taught how to know themselves. जो हम स्कूलिंग भी करते हैं, कॉलेजेस हम जाते हैं, हम सब एजुकेशनल सिस्टम्स फॉलो करते हैं. Nobody is taught how should we, educate ourselves on how the universe works. सबसे पहली चीज है कि हम जितना लाइफ में जा रहे हैं ना, we are living on somebody else's beliefs. हम बच्चे थे, हमें किसी ने बोल दिया यार तुम ये नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है, हमने वो एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया और हमने सोचा हम कर ही नहीं सकते. that is why we never tried it the second time, ठीक है. So a lot of deconditioning needs to be done. हम बहुत कंडीशन हो चुके हैं अपने पेरेंट्स से, अपने टीचर्स से, अपने सोसाइटी से. वो deconditioning की, अच्छा go to that memory where you think कि इसने आपको ऐसा बोला था कि आप ये नहीं कर सकते, that you're not enough, or you're too fat, or you're too dumb, or XYZ. And then you dissociate from that memory, that okay, this is somebody else's memory put inside me, this is not mine. I can leave it, I can let it go. That brings a lot of power in your hands as well. कि यार मेरे अंदर पावर है कि मैं किसी भी मेमोरी से डिसोसिएट होकर उससे आगे बढ़ सकता हूँ. एंड देन यू फर्स्ट यू डिसोसिएट, फर्स्ट यू लेट गो, फर्स्ट यू कंडीशन योरसेल्फ, एंड देन यू रीअफर्म. You build faith little by little. So there is this thing that you know, humans, we punish ourselves 1,000 times in our mind for our mistakes. Even जो जज होता है कोर्ट में वो भी एक ही बार वो सुनाता है अपनी अर्जी और मतलब जो भी verdict है. हम 1000 बार as humans we punish ourselves over and over. So to get over that guilt, to get over that lost time and shame and embarrassment and everything, as वो belief, if you're not enough, if somebody has said it to you, वो belief भी solidify होने में time लगा था. Similarly, उसका opposite belief भी solidify होने में time लगेगा. Start with small things. Start trusting yourself. The easiest way to do that is if you're telling yourself कि अगर मैं आज 8 बजे उठूंगा, you wake up at 8 AM. So when you say something and you follow it, वो आपके ऊपर trust दोबारा बनाता है, and then you kind of try to solidify those beliefs. First, you need to trust yourself. The basic is this, because this also leads me to say that you need to ultimately become your own guru. Because there are so many chaotic things going on the internet.
Don't even get me started.
Yes, so there are so many chaotic, and a normal person, they can't differentiate.
Exactly.
They can't differentiate about it. It's the age of Aquarius. Everybody's talking about spirituality. Everybody is getting into spirituality. So to kind of have your own perspective in all of this energetic chaos, becoming your own guru is like a funda for me.
Yeah.
That I need to tap into my own self. That I need to sit with myself without going on social media every 5 minutes. And dhire dhire, you kind of get to know who you are, what makes you feel good, what are you capable of. So once you start trusting yourself and believing that you're enough to receive and you're deserving to receive, manifestation becomes an everyday process. It's like co-creating with the universe. You say that I want this thing and I'm also going to work towards it. I'm not just wishing for it. It's not wishful thinking. I say that I want this. Let's say you are trying to manifest 1 million YouTube subscribers, right? And you're just thinking, acha, 1 million हो जाए, 1 million हो जाए, मैं manifest कर रहा हूँ, but you're not doing anything on the practical level, on the 3D, that you're not posting videos, you're not promoting your content, you're not collaborating, you're not being consistent, you're posting once in a month, you're not going to get 1 million followers, you're not prepared to have it because you have not done the work. So it's co-creating. It's a symbiotic relationship with universe, with God, with anything that you believe in. It's not a one-way thing कि मैंने बोल दिया और वो हो जाए.
Right, but I also have another question related to this. So I met this guy and he was telling me about how he has been facing failures for last 15 years. And I have seen his work, like when I was talking to him, he showed me his work and everything, and he's being very consistent about it. Then what's your say? Like, is destiny playing its role? Karma.
Saturn.
Okay.
Now, when
so is it past life or this life?
Definitely past life.
Okay.
Nobody, see, all we have is under our control is our actions, our thoughts, our intentions. Nothing outside of that is under our control. And what we are facing right now is also created by us in one of the other past lives, right? Now, अगर ये होता है, Saturn अगर first house में हो, वो बहुत delays करवाता है, बहुत delays. So Saturn की placement कहाँ है, उसको figure out करना और उस चीज को accept करना. Maybe he's pushing against the resistance. Maybe he's doing something that he's not meant to do, but he's consistently doing it. Doing something in the wrong direction is also, you know,
absolutely.
Not a good path to success. So figuring out that, and if you're in the right path. For example, let's talk about Ratan Tata. He was abroad, he came back, and his Saturn is in his Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is working for nature, creating employment and serving the masses. He didn't figure it out, let's say, I think around 30, 36, I might be wrong here. He didn't figure that out for a long time, but when he returned, he created employment for masses. And you ultimately have to accept your destiny. You can't push against it. You can't resist it. So that placement also comes into play. It brings a lot of acceptance कि यार मैंने ही तो ये create किया था, अभी ये balance हो रहा है. इसको resist करने से better है मैं accept कर दूँ और surrender कर दूँ कि जो हो रहा है ठीक हो रहा है. So creating that resistance is going to bring बाहर तो जो हो रहा है वो सक्सेस फेलियर दैट इज अनदर थिंग, जो अंदर हो रहा है एटलीस्ट यू हैव कंट्रोल ओवर दैट रेजिस्टेंस.
राइट. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट मैनिफेस्टेशन, तो यहाँ जैसे ही मैनिफेस्टेशन बोलते हैं तो बहुत सारे लोग डेली रिचुअल्स करते हैं, कैंडल मैजिक करते हैं एंड पता नहीं क्या क्या. सो इज देयर एनी लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट? इज देयर एनी साइकोलॉजी बिहाइंड इट?
So there is logic behind it because herbs in a lot of system, let's say shamanic system, let's say witchcraft, let's say hoodoo, उन सब में herbs का बहुत important है. Cinnamon for wealth and abundance, clove for banishing and protection. All of these have a lot of significance. The problem is intention.
Okay.
अगर वो herbs नहीं भी होंगे, क्या आप अपनी wish manifest कर सकते हो?
That's
the point.
Exactly.
The herbs or the candles or oils, they add a benefit to it.
It's like an add-on.
It's a bonus. If you're getting a salary, you get 5,000 rupees extra. It's a bonus. It's not the main thing. So now people are focusing more on these bonuses rather than the main thing of intention.
Got it.
So
how do you understand कि intention setting कैसे अच्छे से करना चाहिए? Because people might think कि यार मेरी intention तो एकदम ठीक है because I want to manifest this and my intention is this only. Now what's the block? So how to understand what is the block in our subconscious or our conscious mind when it comes to setting our intentions?
So first thing is belief system, which we already talked about conditioning and deconditioning ourselves. ठीक है. The second thing about intention setting is most people fail at manifesting because they depend on these techniques. You are the technique. These techniques are again a bonus. ठीक है. तो intention setting भी एक technique है. It is not the main thing. You have to live to your intention every single moment of your life. You don't have to do it once a blue moon कि अच्छा आज full moon है, आज intention setting कर लेते हैं, अगले 15 दिन में manifest हो जाएगा, जादू है. It's not like that. You have to live in alignment with that intention. For example, अगर आपने intention डाला कि मुझे इस साल 20 किलो कम करना है या मुझे अगले 3 महीने में 8-9 किलो कम करना है, ठीक है, intention आपने लिखा, manifest कर रहे हो, full moon पे सब बढ़िया है. But then when it's time to go to the gym or when you have to do diet, खाना कम खाना है या healthier version पे adopt करना है, you skip it.
Yes.
You're not living in alignment with your own intention. You're not trusting your own self. You're telling your subconscious not to trust your own self, not to trust your own intentions. That creates the block. You set something but you do the other thing. You create your own resistance and then you blame techniques, then you blame the universe, then you blame God कि यार मैंने तो आपसे ये मांगा था, आपने क्यों नहीं दिया मुझे?
Yeah.
You know.
And what do you think is the significance of goal setting in our manifestation?
I think it's very important. You need to know what are you aiming towards. Most people are lost these days because they do not have any goals. They're tapping into the collective frequency of chaos and confusion कि मैं ये भी कर लूँ, मैं ये भी कर लूँ, मैं ये भी कर लूँ. What do you think is right for you? Not materialistically, but right for your soul. So goal setting, most people I see doing is for designer bags, it's for travel, it's for cars, it's for property. But to deserve all of this, what are you doing internally? Set goals very realistically for your soul. How can I ground myself every day? How can I meditate for 5 minutes every day? How can I find that routine? How can I be in gratitude every day? So I have these 5 fundas. I think Reiki may be here. I will not worry. I also have this as my wallpaper. I will not worry.
This prayer every day and it actually works like
magic.
Yeah.
You start seeing so many synchronities. You're always at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
So once you find goals for your soul, all of these designer bags, all of these travel, they become a byproduct. Why I manifest so easily, be it travel, be it luxury, be it anything, is because I live for my intentions. I work moment to moment with aligning myself back to it. If I'm feeling, also people think that it's spiritual bypassing. Coming to that as well. when you're feeling something, you need to feel it completely, but then you need to let it go. What people do, they don't feel it completely and they stick to it moment to moment. What that does is you're rewiring your brain to think in that pattern कि यार मेरे साथ ये हुआ या मुझे ये फील हो रहा है. वो एक टाइम पे फील सारा ना करके धीरे धीरे आप फील करते हो और आप अपने सबकॉन्शियस को बताते हो कि यार ये मेरे साथ हुआ, ये मेरे साथ हुआ, ये मेरी रियलिटी है. यू आर अफर्मिंग टू द ऑपोजिट ऑफ व्हाट यू वांट. सो फीलिंग इट वंस, इफ लेट्स से yesterday I had a bad day, I will not be like, oh I'm grateful, oh I'm this. I will say it's a shitty day, accepting it कि हाँ यार अच्छा नहीं गया दिन,
and it's
and
okay.
then moving on,
exactly,
and knowing that I'll get another day. It's okay. It's human. I'm not a robot. I can't be in gratitude, you know, all of the time. Yeah, exactly.
Also about, like, let's say talking about people who are doing 9 to 5 job. ठीक है, now they're doing this and they, not everyone might believe in manifestation because वही एक pattern बन चुका है, एक set belief system बन चुका है that you know मुझ पे बहुत responsibilities हैं and I have to do this and that, मैं कहाँ से manifest कर पाऊँगा या कर पाऊँगी. So people do have this thing. I hear this a lot. So what do you have to say to them?
I think अगर आप बार बार अपने आप को ये रिपीट कर रहे हो कि मेरे
तो आप
पास
ऐसे ही वही चीज
क्या आप मैनिफेस्ट ही कर रहे हो यार. Every living breathing thing that you focus on, you're manifesting it. But you're just doing it unconsciously. That's the only problem.
It's that pain and pleasure principle.
Yeah.
जहाँ पे हमें उस पेन में इतना pleasure मिलने लग जाता है कि वो हमारा एक comfort zone बन जाता है.
वो जो victimhood और वो suffering में you feel so comfortable, you do not want to get out of it.
And it's happening very subconsciously. Like लोगों को लगता है मुझे मजा नहीं आता, but if you
कहीं ना
really
कहीं you're
see,
feeling that
exactly,
victimhood.
Yeah.
You're, as I said, you always have a choice. So to feel comfortable in that victimhood is also a choice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. Okay, so so manifestation, we were talking about how it's more about our intent and everything. Do you think, like, is there any specific way where you can tell the viewers on how they can manifest success in their life? Is there any remedy that you suggest, or what do you suggest in your professional field?
I think gratitude is the most practical thing to do every day. It is the most basic thing to do today. Not just success in one area.
Yeah.
In everything that you do, in your relationships, in your career, in your married life, in your business, whatever you do, if you can practice 2 minutes of gratitude every single day, your life will change. And most people think it's a very small thing. ये तो सबने journals खरीदी हुई है, gratitude journal और ये कर रखा है. You don't need any external thing. You just need to close your eyes. You need to breathe into your heart, and you really need to feel, okay, I'm thankful for this. Thank you for giving this to me. I accept it, and I am open to accept more of it. Just doing that is way to miracles. Techniques or ये सब, all of us have done it. We stick to it once, it happens for us once, and then we lost track of it.
And does this candle magic thing actually works?
Yes, it does.
It does?
As I said, it's again a byproduct. The main thing of the practitioner, spellwork practitioner, candle practitioner, is the intention.
And it's white magic, right?
White magic, definitely. Anywhere you are not hurting somebody's will, ego, energy, it's white magic. Anytime you try to, you can manipulate your own energy, you can manipulate energy to travel somewhere, to do things around you, because you have that free will. You do not have the free will to interfere in somebody else's destiny. Yeah. Everybody is serving their own karma, our family is serving their own karma, friends, strangers, everybody is serving their own karma. So whenever you try to interfere with somebody, I honestly do not practice it, and I honestly do not recommend it.
And how to manifest the right thing? Because बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that we think कि अच्छा universe, मैंने तो ना आपको यही चीज़ बोली थी, but आपने मुझे कुछ और दे दिया. Because but then we realize that probably we have been manifesting something which we do not want. So how to understand what we actually want to manifest?
See, I feel for this question, there are different versions of us. The year, अगर आप 1 साल पहले की बात करो, अपनी खुद की बात करो, were you the same person?
Of course not.
So different
Yesterday
versions.
मैं तो same person.
Exactly. So we keep evolving, and that's the whole
Yeah.
point. So take manifesting as an experiment. That okay, that version of me wanted that, so it desired for that. And the other version of me, the future version of me, might want something else, and that's absolutely okay. There's nothing, I think, right or wrong in this. It's all about what we believe. Again, it comes down to belief of what we think we deserve. And I personally believe that your desire, anything you desire, it is bound to become your destiny. Now, when manifesting, I think for the long term. If you want to settle abroad, first of all, look to your AstroCartography chart. And then you stick to it. You won't be like, अच्छा आप किसी को बता रहे हो कि मुझे ना वहाँ शिफ्ट होना है, ठीक है? किसी ने बोल दिया यार वहाँ तो ना क्राइम रेट ऐसा है, वहाँ तो ना ये है. Do not influence your intentions, influence your desires based on other people's energy, because you are not living their life, they are not living your life, you are living your own life. Focusing on your desires and accepting that different versions of me will want different things, and okay, because again, I'm human. I might do the good things, I might do the bad things, but accepting it and surrendering for the better, being open to receive more and being open to receive what I deserve will be the best way to manifest.
Tell me about your greatest manifestation story. Something that worked for you like really well and something that did not work for you at all.
Okay, I have to think about that one. So this was an unconscious manifestation. Unconscious as in it wasn't the intent. So I started, this is about my personal relationships, okay. So I started solo dating back in 2020, and back at the time I was living in Bombay.
Yeah.
And I used to take myself out on dates, and I just created this such a wholesome relationship with my own self that I was confident going to cinemas alone. I used to sit at the beach.
I've done that too.
Yeah, so I created that wholesome relationship for, I think that was for 1.5, 2 years, something around. And right after I moved back to Delhi, I manifest this amazing aligned guy for me, who is just a physical manifestation of that wholesome relationship that I had with myself. I had it within me all along. It just manifested in terms of another person. So that was a unintentional manifestation.
Tell me about the intentional one.
So, intentional one, I manifested, the most recent one was I manifested a trip to Dubai for 2 weeks, and it was the bare minimum cost.
Really?
Yeah. And I had the
How much was
best
it?
time. So, a usual trip costs around, I think, 70 to 80 for a week.
More
in
than
Dubai.
that, probably more than
I
that.
was there for 2 weeks and I only spent 50,000.
Huh?
And I shopped and I traveled and I chilled and I did everything I could. I've also manifested traveling for absolute free to Europe
Wow.
multiple times, not just one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted that, so the universe just gave me that opportunity. Either I was sponsored in some way, or a company called me for a week or 2 weeks to work with them abroad. So I manifest crazy things. One was this most recent one, a trip for 2 weeks for only 50,000.
Yeah, that was actually good.
Yeah.
And what was that one incident or one manifestation that did not work for you?
I have to think hard for this.
Probably it might have given you a lesson or something related to manifestation.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, it's like an experience for me, so I wanted to have a teacher. Because as I said, I'm a big time researcher, I learn things on my own, but for some subjects, you need to have a teacher, you can't do it for yourself. So I wanted to manifest the perfect teacher for me, okay? Amazing personality, knowledge, wisdom, friendly, all of those things. But somehow I got into a trap of a so-called fake teacher, where instead of helping me, they kind of exploited me and my energy and used it to drain me.
How can you tell us?
For example, I still am, but back in the days, let's say 2 years back, I was a big time money manifester. Like if I want a lakh, I will, literally do
Manifest
it,
it,
within a week. So that was my kind of energy. Now, when I was manifesting this teacher, that was my energy, and right after this, when I got into contact with them and when I started taking sessions with them, my energy was so drained always. Money was just, अगर किसी को पेमेंट करनी होती थी ना, वो बोलता था अच्छा मैं बाद में करूँगा. The energy flipped 180. And I didn't recognize it in the period. It was, I think, 6-month kind of period where I was working with them, and then everything flipped. And that was kind of a experience for me to not manifest specific or certain people. Rather than just leave it to the universe कि अच्छा अगर कोई आ रहा है, accept it, but to also trust my own energy. I was so I put people on pedestals when they have more experience than me. Yeah, so I was conned in that way that they robbed of my energy. Money though is like a different thing, but they conned me of my energy, which is my most sacred thing.
Yes.
And that was a lesson for me, and it took me more than, let's say, 6 months to get out of the whole experience.
You remember that Goa incident I was talking about, that this whole feminine workshop?
Yes.
Exactly the same thing happened with me. That's why I suggested you not to go there.
Oh.
Exactly the same thing happened.
And something very similar to this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, let's finish. Okay, one more thing about manifestation. Can you give us a few affirmations related to if we want to manifest something and if we want to break that conditioning?
So first
let's
of all,
say about, there are certain things that I have in my mind for money.
Okay.
For relationship.
ठीक है.
For kids who get bullied in school, kids who are lacking confidence, and even the people who do not believe in manifestation, and they have, so I call them lazy ambitious people.
Good one.
Who have certain ambitions, but at the same time they are so much into their conditioning that they end up doing this job or something that they don't like doing. So give us a few affirmations.
So starting from the first one,
money.
Now, first of all, just a disclaimer, all of these affirmations will feel fake in the beginning because your belief system is very foreign to these affirmations, okay? But again, you need to stick to it for long term. You need to commit to yourself. For money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I make money while I sleep.
Yeah.
People love giving me money. Money is my best friend. Money is chasing me everywhere, anywhere. Money is obsessed about me. So I feel whatever you're trying to manifest, think of it as a person, and then feel like they want you more than you want them. So money is obsessed with me. Money loves coming to me everywhere and anywhere. It's my best friend. It responds to my energy. I want it, and it just flows into my life. I make it while I sleep. I do not have to work for money. So yeah, the second one was for relationships. For relationships with whom? With self, with
let's say with partner and also with parents.
Okay, so let's start with the partner. If somebody is single, I am in the most aligned relationships. I always get the most lovable people comprehend and understand me, and I deeply trust and respect them, and they do the same for me. I am valued in my relationship. I am seen in my relationship. I'm validated in my relationships. I can be myself authentically in my relationships. I can be honest without any fear, without any volatile moments. It's okay for me to be vulnerable. My relationship is my safe space, and my partner is always there to support me. Coming for parents depends from, what kind of family.
So if people, let's say there are a lot of people who are coming from a very abused family, or let's say they are wanting to heal their relationship with their parents, they are wanting to work and they are getting the equal amount of efforts from their parents as well. So here what they can use.
I am in the same frequency of healing as with my parents. My parents respect me. My parents give me space. I give my parents space. We are aligned to be with each other. We are destined to be with each other. We are in a harmonious relationship with each other. We respect and we validate each other. We have aligned experiences together. We go on aligned trips together. We have an understanding of each other's needs, and we love each other. We support each other. Yeah.
The next one, which one was it? Bully, yes.
Kids who are bullied.
Yes.
So for them, I think taking their power back. So what bullying does is you give your power to somebody else. And mostly what happens is kids are not talking about it to anyone. It kinds of imprint on the subconscious. I think all of us have gone through bullying at some point. I have gone through it personally. So first of all, I think speaking out to somebody, telling what you really feel, what's happening to you, that's going to liberate you, and then taking your power back. I have my life under control. I am in my power. I am in my own energy. I do not allow anybody's energy to interfere with me. I create this protective shield around me to support me, to protect me, to guide me. And I am aligned with my highest experiences. I am aligned with the highest people. I am safe, I am protected, I am secure, and feeling that in their heart. I will speak up because I am worthy. This also comes down to a lot of worthiness. Most people, when they are bullied, they do not speak up because they think they're not worthy, or they do not deserve to take up space. So I deserve to take up space. I take up space in my life anywhere and everywhere I go, and they also need to create this protective bubble around them and then speak this affirmation. So energetically, they're aligning all of their experiences.
And kids who are lacking confidence, not just kids but everyone
lacking confidence. So confidence comes a lot from a solar, right? So I am my most confident version. I walk into a room and I shine. I love taking up space. People love looking at me. I adore myself. So what happens with confidence is people do not take up space because they, again, don't think they're worthy of taking up space. So even while repeating these affirmations, the confidence affirmations, if you can look yourself in the mirror and really feel that you deserve to take up space, that when you walk into a room, people want you to be there, right? So I deserve to take up space. I have all the power in my hands. I am confident. I am adored. People love being in my energy. My energy is precious. My energy is so sacred that people have to take appointments with me. I am the luxury in people's life. I am a luxury for myself, and I am confident anywhere I go at all times, no matter how I look. My energy is my USP. So yeah, I have a harmonious relationship in my marriage. People validate me, my husband sees me, my wife sees me. We understand each other and we have each other's back. I am appreciated for my efforts, big or small. I am seen for my efforts, and my husband, my wife, they love reciprocating my efforts. They value me. They give me presents, people who like presents. We spend beautiful and romantic moments together. We have peace in our life. We have peace as we sleep. We are supported in all that we do with all the people around us. My husband, my wife loves me, and they deeply, deeply care for me, no matter if they respond to me or not at the moment. And they are understanding of whatever I am going through, and they hold space for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
So, another thing that I want to ask is, can affirmations actually work with psychic attacks also? Like if we
Yes,
are, right?
definitely.
So we won't require any kind of remedy or something?
No. there are so many people come to me for this as well. Now, why I think psychic attack happens with people, because even in their 3D life, in their regular life, they have lack of boundaries. So in spirit world, the spirit world also has laws. No angel, no demon, no soul, spirit, anything can communicate to you without your own saying yes to that.
Yeah.
So when you have lack of boundaries in your real life, it will somehow transform into your astral as well. So they can't even whenever we want support from angels, we say that I want you to intervene and interfere in my life. So we give them permission. No spirit can come into contact without a permission. You somewhere subconsciously or consciously have given permission to them. So when you want to protect yourself, if you're lucid dreaming a lot, if you're astral projecting without your own will, or if there are psychic attacks and you can sense spirits or feel spirits, you need to say clearly and loudly, and you need to visualize a bubble. And somewhere when I analyze people's aura, there are cords going out of that bubble. That is the leak of energy. So you need to visualize a very complete sphere. There are no cords going out, no cords coming in, and you say that I do not allow anybody in my energy without my own permission. I am protected, I have boundaries, and also start practically creating boundaries with other people.
Yes.
Physically. That is how, the energy transference happens.
Very true.
So, yeah.
All right. Now, talking about vision boards.
Oh, I love them. I love them. I have multiple.
You do?
I love them.
How to create it? You were saying something.
Yeah, so I used to create it on like physical boards.
Oh.
But I got bored of it. So now I have Pinterest boards.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know what changed or what happened. My physical vision boards used to take some time to manifest. But my Pinterest boards are like, I have I think December 2029, I made a vision board on my Pinterest and I added Dubai in it. And that happened in February itself.
Wow.
So, it is again the intention, why you want to have an experience.
Yes.
Your vision board is the kind of experiences you want to have and not just materialistic.
And why you want to have.
Yes, why you want to have that experience. Why did I want to go to Dubai? Because I wanted to experience the luxury lifestyle. I want to see people of all ethnicities at one place. Because Dubai is kind of right now the hotspot for the world. You can see Europeans, you can see the US people, Indians, Asians, all kinds of people. So I wanted to experience that kind of collaborative high frequency energy that you see Dubai is so luxurious because that collective energy is so high frequencied. So I wanted to experience that for myself. So vision boards 100% work. Again, depends on why you want to have an experience. Whenever you're sticking a picture or adding a picture to your board, just consciously think, why do I want this? Know the why behind it. Don't just take a Gucci bag randomly.
Exactly.
You know?
And like why as an actual why. Because bahut baar what happens is, I'm doing this because I want to become famous. But why you want to become famous is also another intention setting, right? One is when you just want to seek some kind of validation, and one is something where you actually want to serve.
Yes.
Or, walk on that purpose of yours. So that why is actually
it's very important.
Very important.
And there is nothing as good or bad in vision boards. People want to experience luxury.
Yeah.
So if you're sticking a Gucci bag, do not think I want this materialistically. Do not think I want to be in a frequency of luxury where it is not just this one bag that I get. Everything that I get is luxury because I want to experience this and I deserve luxury. Again, comes down to deserving something. Most people think I will have this one bag and oh my god, my life will change. It's how you experience that, getting the process of getting a luxury bag, a designer bag, is all about going to the store, feeling comfortable at the store where everybody around you is a millionaire and you are, let's say, not by then, and then you have to buy something. What is your energy right there, right then? That's the process, that's the experience that we need to focus on more than that small bag.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And how to create one? Like, how can we create a vision board?
I think I do it on Pinterest. You can print out pictures also from Pinterest or Google. Search what you want to have as an experience, and then just you will know it. When you see an image, it will spark something inside you. You will be like, oh my god, I love this. If it's like a home you're trying to manifest, and the vision you have is floor to ceiling windows. You will see multiple pictures, but there will be this one. You'll be like, oh my god, I want to live here. I want to have this view. So that thing that sparks something inside you, that's the picture. For any experience you want to have, or any image you want to put into your vision board.
And we can just put like randomly, or is there any particular structure or any particular
I do it
way?
randomly. So you can have different sections. Let's say you have 6 sections: the health section, the career section, the money section, the family, the friendship, the relationship, and some miscs section. Also, I've stopped calling vision boards. I've started calling it reality board. So even in my Pinterest, I have saved reality board 2023, reality board 2024. It's my reality. I just have a little time to experience this. It's not in the future. It's not a vision that I have. Visions are mostly wishful thinkings. So I started calling them reality board. This is my reality. It'll just take a month to manifest probably.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's so effortless.
It's effortless for me. I don't have to work to get there. It's already in my frequency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you think this has like something to do with the Devi that you worship also?
Definitely not revealing my Ishti here, but she is a luxurious one.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely the grace of Devi has always been there. As I also speak about free will, this is my relationship with her is also created through one of the past lives, through my own free will, and that is just reflected upon this lifetime. So definitely, even when we talk about Kamakhya, she is the Ichha Purti Devi.
Yes.
Whatever you ask her is bound to manifest. And this was the second time I visited her. I was there last year. And what I told her, that, okay, this is what I'm struggling with. This is somewhere you can help me. And again, coming to, you have to build a friendship or a love relationship with any deity, rather than thinking of that they're sitting in some sky and putting them on some kind of pedestal. Ek wo relationship banana hai where you, as I'm talking to you, you talk like that with your...
Humanizing your relationship with the deity.
Exactly, beautifully put. So humanizing your relationship with any deity will honestly transform your life. If you take away anything from this, humanize your relationship with your God, with your deity, with the universe. Give them this place where you can talk to them anytime, anywhere, not just when you go to the temple.
Yeah.
So that is very, very important. And coming to Kamakhya again, anything I've told her that, okay, this is something I'm working on, this is something you can help me with, I'm struggling here, everything has come true. So having that grace, it's her blessing. It's not something that I have any part in. It's her blessing 100%. And accepting that grace, not thinking, oh, I don't deserve this, not repelling her grace.
So tell us about your relationship with Devi and how it all started.
So it started back in 2020. I was traveling alone to Rishikesh, and there is one temple. Not most people will know it. It's a Shakti Peeth, and I will not reveal the name of the temple. Let it be a mystery. So the people who want to reach there will reach there. So it's an hour away upwards from Rishikesh. I don't know what happened. I just went there normally, very normally, how you visit a temple.
It's a Shakti Peeth,
It's
na?
such Shakti Peeth, yes. So I was solo tripping, and this was my last day. I had a bus coming back at 12 p.m. and I don't know why I went there or the reason of it, and I saw the sunset from there. It's a very beautiful sunset point, but something shifted from there energetically. I couldn't see it till the next 2 months. I naturally started attracting or meeting people who were in the Devi worship. I had friends randomly coming up talking about Devi. I had people just reaching out to me for Devi, and I communicated with them. I have a few friends from Bombay, from Odisha, who are traditionally, from their legacy, they are from the Devi, in the Devi worship, and I started learning from them. Somehow I reached a point where she started coming in my dreams, and I ignored her. I was like, I am a proper Sikh. I am a Sardar.
Yeah.
How are you coming to me?
Yeah.
You know, the traditional way of thinking that we have. And I had no relation with her. I used to go to Vaishno Devi with my family. But nothing too significant till this point. And then I started getting dreams. I started channeling her out of nowhere. I didn't know what channeling was, and yet I was channeling her. And then when I say I started meeting people, they told me to, you know, okay, do this, do this, do this, and all of this thing. And just things started happening to the way that I wouldn't know, should I call it manifestation or should I call it Devi's grace. A few months only I was into her, and then she called me to Kamakhya. I told her,
and that was your first time?
Yes, that was my first time. So I was like, अगर आप चाहते हो ना कि मैं इस फील्ड में आगे जाऊँ, मेरे को बुला लो. I was like that.
Yeah.
कि मुझे एक proper solid proof दो. Then I went to Kamakhya, and it was, oh my god, I can't tell you how the experience was. My first time I was there, I think, for 8 hours in the complex, and I was crying for those 8 hours. Crying. I don't know, it was a feeling of coming home.
I have goosebumps.
That feeling that, oh my god, I've arrived. I don't know where I've arrived. I don't know what it is. Just that feeling that मैं आ गई हूँ. बस यही है. घर है ये. And I was crying for those 8 hours in the Kamakhya complex, and it was the most extraordinary experience. I also have a reel on it, made on it, and I saw a lot of different things around Kamakhya. There are tantrics, there is Bali happening, there's a lot of practices happening, and that was, I don't know if it was that overwhelmed, it was that feeling of coming home, but the second time I went there, I was so happy, as if यार मैं अपने मायके जा रही हूँ.
And I saw that reel.
Yes, and because it's like अगर आप अपने घर वापस जाते हो शादी के, I'm not married, but अगर आप अपने घर वापस जाते हो शादी के बाद, आपको लगता है अच्छा लाइट का स्विच ये है ये. You know where the things are, how comfortable it is in your home. That was the feeling to me. कि मैं अपने मायके जा रही हूँ, मुझे पता है कौन सी चीज कहाँ है, क्या चीज कहाँ है, चाय पत्ती कहाँ रखी है, और बाकी सारी it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
That feeling of I'm meant to be here.
Wow.
And I'm safe here, and she wants me here more than I want to be here. So it's a very otherworldly relationship, if I have to put it, but again comes down to humanizing. I gave her a name, let's say, and I connected with her by you don't have to go to the temple to connect with Devi. You just need to tap into your heart. You just need to know she's living here. She's not living in a external environment. Be it in mandir, be it in any place else. It's never an external environment. It's always here. So that is also, I want to normalize this, that many people come to me, how should we connect to Devi? So if you're a beginner, the most you can do is, and if you don't know who you resonate with, since we have so many deities in the Hindu pantheon, start by just lighting one ghee diya and setting the intention that I want to connect with a deity. What energy should I invite in my life? And you will start getting dreams. You will know who is it. It will start showing up in your reality somehow. You will just know.
Yeah.
So for me, it started with Ma Kali. And then it transitioned into another Devi, which I can't speak of here. And start small, start with just saying that I want to connect with you. Again, as I said, nobody can interfere in your life without your permission. You have to give them permission. I want you to come in, I want you to show yourself, who are you, and also there is a saying that somebody who you worship, any deity that you worship, you tend to become like them. You tend to, after a lot of sadhana, you also tend to look like them. So choose wisely. If you're in a, let's say, if you're in a homely environment, you have a family to sustain, you can't worship Ma Tara. She is the Shamshan goddess. Right?
And I think even Ma Kali, right?
Yes. A few versions, like there's Dakshina Kali and there's other. Also, if you're into, a married environment, you can't worship Dhumavati. It'll ruin you. So there are different deities for different people.
But do you think like we kind of manifest or we kind of encounter these energies in our life? Because I feel that from Kali, I think the last one is Kamala. right? So from Kali to Kamala, it's like a whole cycle.
Yes.
Right, which we have to go through. So do you think that this happens with everyone, consciously or unconsciously?
Yes. So here I want to say something. Tarot comes in as we have major arcana, minor arcana.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Major arcana are our bigger life themes. Minor are our everyday life themes. So we are all Kali, Tara, Dhumavati, Kamala in our minor arcana, in our daily life.
Yeah.
But to worship somebody for a longer period of time, you invite their energy forever. You get committed to them. You have that relationship. Let's say you're getting into a relationship with a person. You're there. You're searching for marriage. You are getting committed for a long period.
Yeah.
You can't skip out of it, right? Everything will influence it. Your relationship with them will influence your life, your energy, how you do anything. Similarly, with a deity, all of us are these things, all of us are these personalities of the deities, but yet we can't stick to them if we do not want them in a longer, cycle.
So whom can we like worship for the longer run? Let's say Lakshmi.
So it's personal for everyone. I think Ma Durga, as we have Navratras, Ma Durga is there, Lakshmi Ma is there, Saraswati is there. Again, depends on your intention.
And how do we know, like, if we are praying to the right archetype, or let's say the right goddess or the god?
So as I said, light that ghee diya and tell them to show up. Do not choose. The right one will show up because we don't know which is best for us.
It's just like the way Guru chooses us.
Yes.
It's the same.
Yes. So they will show up. As I said, it started with Ma Kali. She started showing up in my dreams consistently. I ignored her for the first few nights. I was like, no, I am not, connecting with you. मेरा कोई relation नहीं है आपसे, क्या करना है? I ignored her, but then it was so consistent. I couldn't avoid it anymore. So it will reach a point, if you really have it in your heart, if you're doing it for some other purpose, for that मेरे को ये दे दे, मेरे को ये दे दे, मेरे को ये दे दे, it will not happen for you. Or you might get into the wrong hands. That happens very normally.
Yes.
So if you have a pure intention in your heart, it will start showing up for you. Whoever it is, not just the Mahavidyas, any deity, any other deity might show up for you.
Interesting. I think I can go on and on and on. I have so many questions still, but we're going to come to an end now. And can you tell us, like, how can people reach out to you? Is there any platform, your website or something?
So people can reach out to me on shineyourlight.co on Instagram, shineyourlight.co on Instagram, and I also have a mini store by the same name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there any like email ID or something?
Yes.
And do you have a workspace? Like, can people come to you physically also, or it's just online?
It's online as of now.
Right.
Yes.
Perfect.
I only take online appointments, and I work with a 7-day waiting period. So please be very patient.
7 days, guys.
Yeah,
okay,
please be very patient when you come to me. Don't be like, I've paid now, you give me reading now. Don't be like
I
that.
know it happens a lot. Na?
Yeah.
People get so impatient कि भैया अभी के अभी
हमने पैसे दिए हैं, हमें बस अपना टाइम दे दो. So you can also reach out to me on shineyourlight009@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Yes.
So I think it was amazing. Thank
Yes.
you for coming.
Thank you for hosting me.
enlightening us. It was amazing meeting you, talking to you. And that is it. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Take care.
अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो हमारे चैनल जीवांजलि को सब्सक्राइब करें